Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are eagerly breaking down the absolute enigma that is Skinwalker Ranch. We're going to objectively look at the intense claims coming from our source material about the supposed portals, the paranormal frontiers, and everything surrounding America's most infamous hotspot. So, let's get right into it.
Listen to this quote. What if a single Utah ranch hides portals to other dimensions and shape-shifting monsters that curse anyone who digs too deep? I mean, wow, it sounds exactly like a sci-fi movie, right? But this is the core of the suspenseful mystery we're unpacking today. The source makes it clear we aren't just talking about a spooky old house. It describes a multi-layered, dimensional threat that is locked down to one very specific geographical location.
America's nightmare hotspot. Okay, let's dive into this and see exactly why it earned that dark title, framing it purely through the deep history established by our source text.
So this isn't just modern internet folklore. The source tracks an enduring timeline of bizarre events all the way back to the 1600s, with indigenous Ute tribes actively warning people about skinwalkers in this specific basin. Then, fast forward centuries to 1994, aerospace billionaire Robert Bigelow steps in and actually buys the ranch to investigate it scientifically. And the crazy part? The phenomena actively continues straight into the near future of 2026. It's this wild timeline bridging ancient native warnings directly to modern, billionaire-funded investigations.
512. That is 512 acres of land. Let that scale sink in for a second. When Robert Bigelow bought the place, he didn't just pick up a little farmhouse. He secured a massive perimeter following some utterly terrifying local reports. We are talking about claims of bulletproof wolves just shrugging off rifle fire and cowboys seemingly vanishing into thin air. The sheer massive size of the ranch makes securing it, let alone scientifically investigating it, an absolute monumental task.
UFOs and underground voids. Let's map out the actual physical evidence claimed by the investigators on the ground and beneath it. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the sheer escalation of the severity of these alleged UFO encounters. Investigators didn't just report seeing blurry lights. They documented massive crafts hovering in absolute silence and glowing orbs just dancing around the property like fireflies. But it gets way more intense. One of these orbs was allegedly witnessed shooting a laser at a cow, resulting in a mid-air mutilation. It paints a picture of a phenomenon that isn't just passively observing, but actively and violently interacting with our environment. 100. Actually, 100 feet. When the current ranch owner, Brandon Fugel, and his team attempted to drill down into the earth, they allegedly hit a sudden, massive void. A cavernous space plunging 100 feet deep beneath the surface. Just pause and let the physical reality of a sudden 100-foot underground drop sink in. A hole to nowhere, or proof of underground bases. Is this just a geological coincidence, or is something literally hiding beneath the dirt of this 512-acre property? It really pushes you to consider the terrifying implications of the data. This mystery systematically builds from the sky right down into the subterranean bedrock. Section 10. Science meets the paranormal. This brings us to the most unsettling part of the source material, introducing the specific creatures the ranch is actually named after.
Yi-Naldloshi. That's the Navajo term for skinwalkers. In this cultural context, they are described as taboo medicine men who shed their human skin to become shape-shifting monsters, usually taking the form of wolves or coyotes. And here's the thing. Modern eyewitnesses on the ranch are claiming to experience exactly this. They report hearing disembodied voices, perfectly mimicking their loved ones to lure them out into the dark, and seeing 7-foot-tall, hairy beasts that completely ignore being shot.
And this brilliantly illustrates the dual perspectives the source presents us with. On one hand, you have native psychology and ancient folklore, taboo medicine men turned into shape-shifting monsters. But right on the other side, modern scientific analysis from NASA's Dr. Travis Taylor gives us a completely different lens. Dr. Taylor cites measurable scientific anomalies, pointing to intense radiation spikes and electromagnetic pulses. He suggests these readings match the theoretical signature of portal tech or quantum rifts. So, are ancient curses and advanced physics actually describing the exact same phenomenon? Pentagon studies and hitchhikers. The suspense steps up drastically here when the source claims the highest levels of the United States government secretly got involved. $22 million. That is the staggering price tag of the Pentagon's AASAP program. The government reportedly spent $22 million taxpayer dollars to secretly study the phenomena happening at this specific ranch. You really have to ask yourself, what kind of data requires a $22 million government deep dive? Well, one of the most chilling concepts confirmed by these studies is the hitchhiker effect. It's a phenomenon where paranormal activity, like poltergeists, literally follows the witnesses home from the ranch. This fundamentally changes the rules. It means the danger actively leaves the property. You can drive away from the 512 acres, sure, but whatever is happening there can attach itself to you and follow you right back to your own living room.
An active warped reality. Let's move to this next part and see how this builds into the modern-day claims of the explainer.
Because the ranch is not just history. It's an ongoing, reality-warping battlefield. Looking at the 2026 source updates, the phenomena are still highly active. High-tech drones vanish mid-flight out of thin air. State-of-the-art GPS systems fail completely the second they enter the airspace. And deeply disturbingly, fresh cattle mutilations are still being reported. The modern technology deployed by current investigative teams is seemingly just being swatted away by whatever occupies the ranch today. Aliens using skinwalkers as guards, an ancient Anasazi portal to another dimension, or a massive CIA psychological operation. These are three of the wild theories presented straight from the source script. When the data is this bizarre, it really shows the sheer scale of the speculation surrounding it all.
Aliens, demons, portals? What is your Skinwalker theory? One thing is for certain, this ranch absolutely warps reality, but we want to know what you think, so drop your thoughts in the comments below. If this breakdown helped you grasp the wild claims of America's nightmare hotspot, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss our next deep dive into MK Ultra ghosts and CIA hauntings. Keep learning, stay focused, and I'll see you in the next explainer.